Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Feed and Focus for Remote Work and Digital Nomads podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Brain Mastery Academy, everything you need to know about mastering your brain to feel, do, and look your absolute best. You can find it at mybrainmastery.com. And I'm your host, Angela Shurina, your brain coach, who is here on a mission to bring you the latest, the most effective from the world of neuroscience, integrative health, nutrition, behavioral science, design of our working and living spaces to give you guys all the tools you need to help your brain to do its absolute best. So you get to build the habits, the routines, the behaviors that you want to build. So you get to build your dream life feeling great while doing that. This is what this podcast is all about. And we are passionate about remote and digital nomad lifestyle here that I've been living for the past 12 years, I think now. And that's why the name of the podcast today, guys, is going to be a short podcast, a very short podcast. And I just wanted to bring you a piece of news from neuroscience and nutrition research. Guys, what I realized is that a lot of people are not taking as many simple, healthy actions and not prioritizing certain behaviors over others, or not doing things like taking supplements consistently enough. It's because a lot of people, most of the people are not exposed to the same amount of data, of research, of scientific facts that I'm exposed to every single day by intentionally reading certain summaries of, what new studies, what they talk about, how they were done, reading and listening to and watching different content of experts from all the different areas, right? This is my job. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want to popularize in everywhere in the world, right? But you, and like a lot of other people, it's not your job. It's probably not your biggest passions, nutrition and neuroscience research, right? And that's why you don't have all that vast amount, like mountains of data telling you, if you don't take this supplement, you are more likely to commit suicide if you are prone to those kind of behaviors, right? So today's episode, first of all, I want to introduce you to this new study, and I'm going to post the link in the show notes. It's where I read it was in neurosciencenews.com. That's the website, but it was done by University in Chicago, I think. I remember correctly, the institution where it was located. And so the conclusion was that taking simple folic acid or B9 vitamin supplement prevented suicide attempts, or reduced suicide attempts in people who do this, who are prone to that kind of behavior by 44%. So they took 866,000 of people. It's a lot of people, almost a million, like a huge lot of people, right? So they took all of these people who were going through different therapies because of their suicide attempts or behavior. And they took those people and they analyzed the data. So some of them were on prescription medication, some medications, and some of them were on medications plus folic acid supplementation. And so what they found is, and it was very consistent data, they removed all the factors that might be influencing the results. So what they found is suicidal attempts were much less likely to occur, 44% less likely to occur, almost half as less in people who took folic acid as a prescription supplement. And guys, a lot of times people don't supplement unless they get the prescription. And it's sad because in our today's diet, in food environment in general, it's always been hard to get all of the vitamins and minerals and fats and proteins and, all the kinds of fibers and all kinds of good stuff that we're supposed to be having. regularly. It's hard to get from the diet alone. Plus, we have all these busy lives and distractions and overwhelming amount of data, right? We have so much more complexity in our life right now that designing our diet every single meal on top of that, it's just not doable unless you have a personal chef who is a nutritionist on top of all the data, and also at the same time chef, and he cooks for you. You're probably not getting all of your nutrients from your food. Most likely, I'm almost 100% sure that if you are hoping to get all of your nutrients, vitamins, minerals, etc. from your food alone, almost 100% you're not getting them if you're not supplementing. Now, that being said, guys, remember that governments in a lot of countries realize that people are bad with their diets. Let's fortify some core foods that a lot of people tend to eat every day, like our bread or different, pasta products, or vitamins and minerals almost everywhere. You take your favorite vegan milk, almond milk, plant-based milk, or whatever you call it, and you look at the ingredients. Almost everywhere you would find the name of the vitamins. Now, sometimes they go by the name, like riboflavin. Sometimes they say B2. That is the same thing, right? That's where the confusion. The difference between naturally occurring vitamins and minerals and added to ingredient list, and it all makes sense, right? If you, for example, have broccoli, then the amount of vitamin C would be on the nutrition label, not on the ingredients list label. Now, if you fortify that broccoli, you have to put it in the ingredient list. That's how it works usually. But of course, all countries have the ability to do whatever they want, and they have different regulatory bodies that tell them what to put and where on which side of the label, right? But that being said, guys, let's get back to the fact that simple folic acid, B9 vitamin, that is very simple, very cheap. Now, there are different variations and absorption rate, etc. But what research shows, to prevent negative consequences, you can get any B9 vitamin, any B complex, supplement with that, and it's going to be effective. So it reduces the suicidal attempts by 44%. But then not all of us will have suicidal attempts, but as you can see from the data, anxiety is an overwhelming issue for a lot of people who think like ADHD. When I post my videos about ADHD, all the time, great views, great ratings, comments, likes, etc. People reach out with questions. Those things actually are preventable when you get enough your B vitamins. But then there are also, things like magnesium, zinc, there are minerals and fatty acids and certain proteins that's absolutely essential for the brain function. But when you just start supplementing with simple multivitamin mineral, and vitamin and mineral both are essential, you'll be surprised by how much better you feel mentally. It's not just for people who try to commit suicide, it's for everyone. My personality completely changed because of the vitamins and minerals that I'm taking. I was more on the anxiety side. Public speaking was a dread for me. Like a lot of things I would get nervous about. Now, I don't. I get excited. Yes, there is a little bit of adrenaline, but I never get anxious or worried to the point that it interferes with my performance. Never. I used to be all the time. As a kid, I used to stutter if I had to do poetry recital, as we used to do in literature classes in front of the class. I would know it by heart. I would spend a lot of time reciting at home, and in front of my mom, I would do just fine. But then in class, things would go different. That completely disappeared after I started supplementing. And then there was a period in my life where I didn't supplement as a teen, early 20s, and that's where my mental health really suffered, as I remember it. Now, it doesn't matter how much stress and challenges I have, I'm still happy. And people are like, how are you smiling and happy? You have so many problems. I'm like, well, being happy actually helps with making better decisions. Neuroscience confirms that. And plus, what's the point of me being sad about it? It's like not solving my problem. People just don't get it, that you can actually be in a really good mood, and doesn't matter what's happening in your life. And nutrition is such a huge part of it. They say sleep is so important for mental health. Did you know that you cannot even make sleep, like your body and brain cannot produce the state of sleep? If you are missing certain vitamins and minerals, they create certain brain chemicals that are absolutely essential for sleep, like melatonin is made of serotonin. Serotonin is made of tryptophan, amino acid, and you need B6, a lot of B6 vitamin, like sufficient amount to make that. And the list goes on and on and on. You need this to make that to make that, and then that to make sleep, and you need sleep for mental health, for brain performance, right, guys? So the point is, there is more and more really good data coming out that people who supplement do better on a lot of indicators of mental health, cognitive performance, and just general life satisfaction. People on supplements are happier, and there is no magic around that. When our nutrition is adequate and body and brain get everything they need to function optimally, we are actually quite happy creatures. Just like any other animal don't get depressed, we also do not when we get everything we need. Our brain is a very complex machine. It has very complex requirements. And the better we meet those requirements, the better it works, the happier we feel, the sharper our brain works, like everything is at the tip of our tongue and fingers, right? So supplement, guys. This is the message of today's podcast. In the link, you're going to find in the show notes, you're going to find the link to get to this study about B9 or folic acid supplementation and how it helps people to be not as suicidal. That is amazing, because in the study, they also say, well, not in the study, in the paper, they say 45,000 people in the US, I think it was, either try to commit suicide or commit suicide, right? So it's a lot of people, 45,000 people. I don't know if, like, my city, where I was born, it had 400,000 people. It's like 10% of that city, right? So 45,000 people, and just one vitamin, super cheap, can help with that. It might be in the foods that you're already eating, might be, because again, governments in many countries do fortify a lot of base foods. So check it out. Your almond milk might have it, folic acid or B9, as well as a lot of other vitamins and minerals. That being said, all of these core principles of brain body function I cover in my Brain Mastery or Brain Mastery Academy 12-week course. I also am going to be running retreats later this year, maybe beginning next year, covering all of this topic, but in a more concise and more engaged way in the retreat, faster, but also better. It's like immersion brain mastery course. If you want to stay updated on that, please let me know. Check out mybrainmastery.com. There is a lot, like it's so packed with things about motivation, focus, and nutrition and lifestyle, and how to prevent burnout and things like ADHD and overwhelm and anxiety and mental fatigue. So much stuff. And as a coach, of course, I focus on practice. I give you just the most effective information, and then we practice, so it becomes your second nature. So check it out, mybrainmastery.com. Brought to you by Brain Mastery Academy and yours truthfully, Angela Shurina, Brain Coach. And have an awesome Tuesday. Get those supplements. If you need any advice, what supplements, like in the basic supplementation routine for the happy body and brain, what is it? If you have that kind of question, please reach out. More than happy to point you into the right direction. Share this episode if you found it valuable and you think it can really bring a lot of value and benefit other people you love and admire and cherish, and you want them to be happy. So share this episode, maybe screenshot and share it on your social media and tag me on Instagram at 1000 year young or on Facebook, right? So share it. Let's share this wisdom so people are happier and doing better. And again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening, and till next time, supplement.